Hi, I'm Hub Arkush, the publisher and editor at Pro Football Weekly, along with senior editor Nolan Nawrocki. Nolan, of course, is also the author of our Pro Football Weekly NFL Draft Preview book. And we thought we'd give you a little special report brought to you by Verizon Fios on what the impact of the current labor impasse in the NFL is, and no free agency period having occurred yet on this college draft. You know, Nolan, where it starts is most teams are used to addressing their most pressing needs in free agency, and that allows them to decide where they want to focus in the draft. Well, this year, free agency's coming second. Nobody really knows.
Yeah, it's going to put an emphasis on drafting the best available player, and I think that's the way teams that have done it very well have always done it. You look for the best player out there and you go with that guy. You
know, you talk about all the controversy surrounding the Cam Newtons and the Ryan Malletts and even Ricky Sanzi out of Iowa. Peyton Manning is not an Indianapolis Colt right now. Now, the Colts aren't going to go draft a quarterback in the first round. They think they're going to re-sign him. But you've got the Logan Mankins situation in New England. You've got Vincent Jackson in San Diego. We don't know if there's going to be franchise tags in any new form of free agency. So you've got to take a look even at your own existing free agents. You can't assume that you're going to have these guys back. What you thought was a position of strength could become a position of weakness.
Oh, it's very possible. I think the best teams do know what they're getting back and what they're not. And even though they're no free agency period has officially started, I have talked to teams that have moved forward with their plans, and they have a good idea of what they're going to be able to do in free agency. So even though the rules are in place, teams are aware of what they're going to be able to bring in and what's going to be missing.
You know, and I would also think we've done a couple pieces here which folks can find here at the Pro Football Weekly video player on the top 5 character guys, the 5 biggest character questions. Well, this has got to put even more of a priority on if you take a young man in the first or second round, you've got to know he's going to be productive for you in case you aren't able to find a free agent or you lose a free agent who might have competed at that position.
Yeah, and on the other side of it is that after the draft, they can also fill some needs that they may still have. So once it gets going, teams are going to be more aggressive and likely overpay for some of those players as well.
And here's the last part that I'll bet nobody's thought about, but there's the whole boom or bust factor. If you've got a position where you don't have any free agents to worry about, let's say you're the Chicago Bears, you think you're loaded at linebacker, even though they do have a situation with Pisatino Isamoa and Nick Roach, but they're comfortable there, they might take a kid with a character question at linebacker and say, hey, if we hit a home run, we're fine, but if not, at least we knew we were okay.
Yeah, it could happen. I think teams are going to have to look across the board and find players that they know they're going to be able to plug in right away and really put a focus on that character.
Well, one thing for sure, this is going to be an NFL college draft like we haven't seen in a long time. A lot more than the usual question marks. For the very best analysis and coverage of it, check back right here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at ProFootballWeekly.com. You can follow us on Twitter as well.